wheat and paddy rice are negative grains which human beings should not be eating. By eating rice and wheat over a period of time, you are generating blood pressure to start. Why are you eating only rice?
And causing diabetes?
Heart block. Overall, homeostasis of the blood is the cause of all these modern day diseases. That means when you eat 50 grams of rice, idli, within 15-20 minutes, your blood is flooded with glucose.
The heart disease is the largest cause of deaths in the world.
How many dams, how many forests, how many living things have disappeared because you are eating rice?
Wheat takes about 10,000 liters of water to irrigate. Paddy rice takes about 8,000 to 9,000 liters of water to irrigate. But millets only take 200 liters of water to irrigate.
There are around 200 varieties of millets on this planet. We have lost.
Millets are supposed to be a huge tool in helping people prevent cancer.
Not preventing. You can even cure cancer.
What are some of the other diseases that millets can cure?
Type 1 diabetes, BP, thyroid, you name it. Any disease that you want, we can reverse it.
So if I'm a diabetic, I can have millets and I can reverse my diabetes.
3 months.
Padma Shri Dr. Khadar Wali, popularly known as the Millet Man of India, has worked relentlessly for the past 25 years to bring back millets into the consciousness of human race. A PhD in steroid biochemistry from Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, and a postdoctorate fellow from Oregon Graduate Center, United States, Dr. Khadar worked as a pioneering scientist in the United States before returning to India to establish the role of millets in preventing and curing modern-day diseases.
That's why you have a problem with your PCOD, endometriosis, fibroids, infertility. All that things can be reversed, making you eat little millet. If you continue to eat millets, you will never fall sick. You have a problem with your lungs and nervous system, foxtail millet comes into picture. And you have a problem with your liver, heart, kidney, barnyard millet comes into picture. And you have any problem from mouth to anus.
So next time when I have a sickness, instead of medicine, I should take a millet.
Absolutely.
So dairy consumption is bad? We should not be having milk?
Absolutely. No milk.
Dairy is $1 billion industry.
You are way behind. It is $1 trillion business. And that is the reason why we have now human girls menstruating at the age of 8, 9 average, which was actually 15 years. So that means your gynecological problems are all arising from this single reason. If you stop taking milk, you will wipe out 50% of your diseases. So multigrain.
Yeah, that's also wrong.
This is the concept generated in the Western corporate world. Including your salad, they keep mixing it. And they say olive oil is good for you. Where is this olive oil coming from? The olive trees are not there. Like oils, refined oils. What the hell is going on? Natural oils replenish your living cells.
What are some of the natural oils, sir, that we can consume?
According to me, is supposed to be very shrestha oil. It's supposed to regenerate your neurons in your brains. So you do need carbohydrate. A lot of people have no carbohydrate, low carb, no carb. All these Hangama fellows, they don't know what they're talking.
Dr. Khadar established Hasur Rouhani Clinic, training doctors to use traditional food systems to heal people. He has also trained thousands of farmers on rain-fed agriculture called Jungle Krishi.
No farmer would have the need for committing suicide if only we were to accept these grains as food.
2 biggest causes of cancer is A, excessive consumption of dairy, and 2, excessive consumption of poultry. Does chemotherapy really rectify cancer?
No.
Soybean is also bad?
And it is one of the major reasons for cancerous conditions.
How should we be eating through the day? Like, what should the frequency of the meals be? What are some of the other kitchen utensils that are harmful and we should get rid of?
The best way to cook is in... So when you do it in the steel vessel or aluminum vessel is by nature not good for you. Don't drink coffee and tea, you will vanish the global warming.
People say tea is medicine.
No, not at all. It makes your nerves so much weak that many people have got.
Walking is better than running.
Of course.
A recipient of several awards, including the prestigious Padma Shri, it is our honor to have with us on today's health episode of the Body to Being podcast for the very first time the legend himself, Padma Shri Dr. Khadar Wali.
We have been made to lose. It's a very well planned system The establishment has planned to see that the whole world's food methods, food materials have been destroyed.
I've just finished recording this podcast and I feel so overwhelmed. This is the power of a good conversation. I still cannot believe that I've had the chance to interview this legend. This podcast imparts so much wisdom that I can promise you this much. By the end of it, you will know the lies about food and water that has been sold to you all your life. Do watch the video till the end, and if you haven't already, I'd be very grateful if you can subscribe to the channel. Pranam. Namaskaram.
Namaste.
Dr. Khadar Wali, the Millet Man of India. This is one of my dream podcasts. I am truly privileged and honored to have you on this platform. So thank you so much for gracing us. Sir, I'd like to begin by asking why take up the cause of millets?
Because human race has lost its way in the way they are eating, the way they chose their food, all in the name of science and development. But what has happened is it's all business. As a scientist, for me, it was very tough to accept that a business concept has changed the food of human race in the last 100 years, and it has to be put back into nature's lap. This is the only reason why I have taken up cause of millets. It is the C4 grasses, that is, the millets belong to this group of plants where the photosynthesis happens very differently from all the other plants that we know. And most of the planet Earth, apart from the oceans and water, is occupied by C4 grasses. All over the planet, anywhere and everywhere, even if there is no water, these grasses can go.
Okay.
And that is one of the primary characteristics of C4. That means there is no need for water to grow.
So millets are a part of the C4 category,
C4 grasses.
which do not need water.
Basically. And your rice and wheat are C3 grasses. That means you give water, they grow. And this has huge implication because only if you have water, you can grow rice and wheat.
Correct.
Whereas millets, you don't need water, you can grow. That means you can grow food anytime, anywhere. This is the difference. And so this is on a large scale the reason why you should eat millets.
Environmentally friendly.
Absolutely. Not friendly. It's beyond that. It makes the environment replenish because you have something that can not disturb the nature and grow and make things happen. So it fixes carbon dioxide, which is there, that every living thing releases, and you have here someone who can just absorb it and convert it into food for you. No other thing required. It has everything built in. That means what? Self-sustainable.
I had the pleasure of reading one of your books. You mentioned there that wheat takes about 10,000 liters of water to irrigate. Paddy rice takes about 8,000 to 9,000 liters of water to irrigate, but millets only take 200 liters of water to irrigate.
Yes.
Wow. So traditionally, paddy rice, and wheat were only grown in those regions where water was abundant.
Absolutely.
But today it's been grown everywhere, even in those places where water is not abundant.
That's because of corporatization of food. You have mining, you build dams, collect water, and then make arrangements to shift the water to these lands in the name of irrigation. And then you are growing rice and wheat because the corporatization of food requires that they use their products like fertilizers, pesticides of different kinds, and then grow them in large quantities, store them in godowns, and use preservatives, fungicides. This is a huge vicious cycle. So, centralizing the food, and then while doing this in the name of science, you have what is called patent culture. That the food that could be grown by farmers independently and freely now is in the hands of corporates in the name of patents. They have taken away the rights of the seeds of the farmers. Now, farmers have been converted into laborers of these corporate companies. Earlier, farmers were independent, sovereign. This is the difference. So, this is what actually has been planned by corporates. rice and wheat is the only thing that every human being now is eating.
Exactly.
I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? It's the most unscientific thing.
Yes.
You cannot even grow properly. And now everyone thinks, when I go to even remote villages, even tribal people think food is rice and wheat.
Yep.
So what it means is in the 100 years, they have just devastated, disseminated all the food practices, food materials, even the seeds of the olden times, the ancestral grains have been completely destroyed. Untold damage. And it's painful as a scientist for me to see that no one even talks about it,
Yes.
even today.
Yes.
This is the reason why I embarked on millets. I said, at least let me just bring back the word millets into the human consciousness. We have lost, this is the word these experts keep using even today. We have lost somehow. No, we have been made to lose. It's a very well planned system. Not even a single institute to do research on millets exists.
Really?
Yes. Only recently, in the last 8-10 years, I've been running around all over South India. The whole world, people keep claiming this Western scientists. And for them,